my dear Aries, this is a love reading, a prediction for the month of June with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. If you want to watch the channel's reading in advance and ads free, you can become an extended member to the channel. I'm also doing spiritual growth readings for all the members to the channel every week and personal readings for the full members. Subscribe and then check this out to the join button or follow the link in the description box to learn more. The description box is somewhere here. This will be a love reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising Sign and Venus, Vedic or Tropical. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. So when I tell you that this is you, it might as well be the person or the situation you are dealing with. And I usually read for the empath side of the story within this dynamic, but also remember that the other person holds up a mirror of your shadow. So use your own intuition and recognition to determine who is who in this reading for you. I can also recommend that you watch the previous love reading for May, because that's the energy right now, and this will be the prediction for June. And I'll start shuffling your cards, and I use the Golden Universal Tarot with Roberto De Angelis. When I open your deck here, I see Seven of Swords with the Knight of Wands. So if someone has played you, it seems like they themselves got the consequences out of this. Some consequences they didn't consider or they didn't expect. I pull the Divine with Love and Light. And here we have also Magician together with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Some of you might be dealing with a Sagittarius or another fire sign. Or this is you, Aries. So, Magician together with the Knight of Wands, and we also have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So definitely someone has had like a vicious plan to get what they want from you, but it didn't play out in the way that they hoped. So I called for archangels in the four corners of the world. Might be that you have started to ignore this person, or you ignore them for quite some time. With all the cards that we have seen so far, it seems like this is an attention seeker. Someone that might cause drama or conflict just to get attention. Or they might come and charm you or want something from you, but then disappear. The Knight of Wands is not usually a person that sticks around. They go from the it's like a bumblebee that goes from the flower to the next flower to the next flower. But if a flower ignores them, well, I don't know what happens. So 6 elements. And here we have, Three of Swords with a Knight of Wands. So I think this Knight of Wands has spread a lot of heartbreak, but what I've seen so far, this person also feel heartbreak at this moment here. Okay, so they have done something and thought that they will maybe break your heart, but they ended up breaking their own heart as well. So 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit and ether. Ask you to join me here today, or join us here today, to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aries viewers. So I want my dear Aries to have love in their life and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay. So it's done there. I will just tune in to you, the person most on your mind, and your relationship in June. This is the new bottom of the deck, Three of Swords, heartbreak. Doesn't need so much explanation. I think every one of you have felt it. And here we have the Five of Swords, which is the old bottom of the deck. Maybe this person have tried to fix this issue at some occasions, but they didn't really apply themselves to fix it. They just kind of try to send out a hook and draw in the hook and hope that you were attached to it, but I don't think you took the bait. So that's why this person feels heartbroken at this present moment. So this is what's on your mind, with the person most on your mind, and this is the situation with this person. This is what's on their mind with you, your feelings towards the other person, and this is the bond between you two, their feelings towards you. This is your behaviors and attitudes, the outcome for June, and their behaviors and attitudes. So we start with the situation, and we have a 5 of coins in the reversed, which means that you didn't want to be treated like a person that you could use and abuse or fool or trick or take advantage of. So I think you have done things to take yourself out of this position, 5 of coins position. This is when we feel left out in the cold. No one cares. We don't get attention. The other person doesn't give us love. They don't have empathy for us. And then we decide, okay, I won't wait outside the door for empathy. I will give it to myself. So that's good. And this is what's on your mind about the other person. And we have a 4 of coins in the reverse. So I'm seeing 2 things. First is that you're letting go of the tight grip that you had on this person because you had hopes with this person. 4 or 5 of coins, you expected them to give things that they weren't ready to give, or they didn't have the capacity to give, or they didn't want to give it to you. So in this, you're starting to let it go. You haven't really convinced yourself 100%, but I'm also seeing that the other person has probably been incredibly stubborn with not wanting to display their affection towards you. So they have been the miser, and now you're letting go of the miser with that card in the reversed. So this is what's on their mind about you, and it's a Tower in the reverse. So it's like a minor disaster. They haven't maybe seen the full range of this disaster just yet. They think, oh, this is something I didn't count on. They didn't act in the way I expected them to, or I planned to, that they would they planned for you to have certain reactions and thereby certain actions, and here I think their plans failed a little bit, so they don't know really what to expect from this. I'm feeling a little bit nervousness. This is probably right before the heartbreak hits, when we get this surprise that things didn't go the way we wanted them to. Is the Tower in the reverse, so it's not like a full-blown tower. This is mini tower, but I just think that they haven't seen the full consequences of their own manipulation games and withdrawal of love just yet. And this is the situation between you two. So it's a lot of anxiety, I think, from both of your sides right now. You are anxious because you need to let go of a dream. It would have been so simple if the person just could send you love or give you love, or, you know, give the same amount of energy into the relationship as you have, but they didn't do that. So you feel like you need to let this person go and maybe go into a landscape which you didn't want to go into, of being alone. This is connected to the Hermit card as well, 18, 1 + 8, 9, which is the Hermit card. And you didn't expect to have to let go of your happy ever after that you probably planned with this person. So that's making you anxious, and for the other person, it's the anxiety of not having things going in the way they planned. Exactly as for you, it's just that you actually worked for things to go well, and they worked for things to go well for them, but not for you. So we can see here that it's the ego's tower that's falling down, because you are getting a little bit more of an ego and, you know, taking care of yourself. because it has been a little bit of imbalance between you, where you have taken care of the situation much more than the other person, which means that there has been a lopsided situation where you got very little and they got a lot, and that was their plan all along, to be selfish and to get more from you than what they would give. So they didn't want to invest themselves in the situation, but they gladly saw you investing yourself. And now when you aren't, you are taking back a little bit of your ego and stealing away the energy from them that they once stole from you. So that's making them anxious. And the moon is a good card because it makes you face your fears. If you face your fear, you grow up and become a more mature person. And you also see the truth about things. I think you have been trapped in a little bit of an illusion with this person, that you thought, they are like this right now, but they will grow into becoming a more loving and caring person that can say that they're sorry and is not stubborn at all. And now you realize that this might never happen. So that's facing the reality, even if it's hurts at first. So first we have the moon. It's like when we realize things that have been hidden from us. And then comes the sun later on, which show us the total truth. So the truth shall set you free, but first it will be painful to have this realization about this situation. So this is your feelings towards this person. So now you decide to be this heartbreaker. So I'm thinking we have a song for you, because I'm hearing I know the song, but I don't have access to my left side brain at this point. So I write diamonds and heartbreaker. So that's the clues. Okay, so now you are deciding that you will go from flower to flower and find your own happiness, like it's a numbers game. If the first person doesn't make you happy, you might need to let them go and see if there's something else out there for you, and to not stick around for new disappointments. If you see red flags with people, you go on to the next situation and the next situation. So you don't stick around and, bet on a three-legged horse and set yourself up for a lot of disappointment. So basically you are becoming your own locksmith. I don't know if you have that saying in English, but in Sweden we say like that. We start to make our own happiness with using the hot iron to direct our course. Okay, so and this is the other person's feelings, and it's a 2 of coins in reversed. So here I feel like they are both overwhelmed, they are nervous, and they're also trying to be cool. So they think, if you have turned your back on me, I will turn my back on you as well. You'll see. You will break. You will come back. You will see my splendidness and see that I'm this great person, and you will come back to me. But right now, so they are acting like they don't care about you moving away like this, but we can see that they do care. It's probably very nervous feeling with this person right now. And we also saw the heartbreak card. So it's just underneath the surface, the realization of heartbreak, and also the realization that they did this to themselves by sitting on the top of the tower here and not letting you even through the door. It's like you were their servant or something. So imagine that there's a door here somewhere, and you were sitting outside knocking, and please let me in, let me have love. And they say, no, I'm sitting here up on the top of my tower. And then you stop knocking at their door, and they wonder, where did this person go that were knocking at my door? I missed them. They should be there knocking, so I know I'm valuable. And you decide, I will let this go. I will try to find someone new. It's what I'm seeing. So this is your behaviors and attitudes. So finding someone new, the Fool here. So you are on a new beginning, a new adventure. You know your worth a little bit more right now. So you know what to, we have also the Sun here. So you see the truth that you are your own locksmith. You decide what's going to happen by either accepting what's being presented to you or not accepting it. It's the law of attraction and the law of repulsion. When you say no to things, it means that no, this is not what I wanted. I will make another wish. And then you have another go with your new wish, and you might not have been so careful with that wish, or you might have blueprints that makes the wish a little bit off. So you might find another person, and you will see some red flags there, and you let that go too. You're using the law of repulsion to say no to the universe. I don't want this type. I want people that's more like this. And then the universe might send it to you. And with the Fool here, you might not be entirely ready for it. So when a person comes that's actually what you have wished for, you might not have the right feelings to that situation, because this is the Fool. So they don't have, it's the beginning of the journey. So there might be a little bit of a journey ahead of you. But we have the Sun here, so you know. You will also be able to see it, that now the universe sent me this person or this situation I have dreamt for, and now I don't want it. Typical. So this is actually good. It's very young energy, because you are on a new path before you have tried to become loved by being the servant. And this is their behaviors and attitudes. And we have the Lovers in the reverse. So they want to be loved by you. Okay. I'm hearing a song. It's an old one. It's Betty Boop. I want to be loved by you. Just you and no one else but you. But you are not there anymore to love them. So this is a person that realizes maybe too late that they were unfair to you in the relationship. And I feel that there's no action from this person. It's just helplessness. This little Betty Boop, she was a tough cookie though, but what I'm feeling with this person is that they just have this realization, I want to be loved by you, just you and nobody else but you. And they don't do anything about it, because it's a new emotion. As you are unexperienced with maybe choosing better partners, better jobs, better dreams for yourself, this person is unexperienced with giving love to people or feeling love for people. So I think this is a new emotion for them to feel like this. And that makes them unexperienced on what to do now or what to do next to maybe get a happy outcome here. But we'll see with this. It doesn't look too good with you turning your back here and them being like totally in confusion. And we have the Wheel of Fortune also in the reversed. So for this relationship, it doesn't feel good to hold this card in the reversed. I'm thinking there's the same karma is going to restart, but maybe with a new person for you. That you're going to have roughly the same thing happening, but this time you will probably see a little bit faster the red flags, and you will be able to say no. So I'm thinking you're really starting on a new circle for yourself, but it needs to start in the way that the old circle is being presented to you, and then you reject it and you say no thank you. So I'll use the Brutally Honest Oracle cards to see what this person would want to say to you if they weren't paralyzed with fear here. I didn't believe you when you said you loved me. I never felt safe loving you. So there was the reason to why they didn't let you into the tower. Like Rapunzel, they were scared of the outside world, or they were locked in. And I'm thinking it's symbolizing of them locking in themselves for their own vulnerability or ability to love inside the ego tower, and they weren't able to take themselves out of there because they were scared. They didn't believe that other people could love them. They also didn't feel safe feeling love for you or showing you love, because they were expecting to be abandoned. So they stayed in their ego tower to stay safe. And that plan didn't work because you left them anyway, or because of that. So now they have as I said, we are our own locksmith, and this is, as you sow, you should reap. So this person stayed in the tower, didn't give you a lot of love, like shunted you out a little bit because they were scared and didn't believe that it was safe loving you, or that you loved them. And now that's the prophecy, their prophecy came true. And how it came true was with their own behavior. And I want to say this to you because this is how we all create our life. We create our life through fear. So the thing we fear is the thing we're going to create in our life. If you fear that you are going to be taken advantage of by someone that won't invest in the relationship, that's what you will get with this karma wheel again and again and again. But you are in a good position now to see it, so you can start to say no to it as soon as it starts to appear, and by that slowly healing yourself and no, I don't want that, I don't want that. But it's also important to not just say no to the person's behavior, but also changing the blueprints inside of you. And the blueprints comes both from what our parents have said, teachers have said, other people have said, you have heard on the news, but it also comes from your own experience that if I put my hand on the stove, it will burn. So that's a blueprint. And if I walk over the street without looking at both ways, I can get run over by a car, because both parents and teachers and everyone have told me this, even the police that visit us in our classroom when I was small. So we know that. We look both ways before we cross the street. That's a blueprint. But you also have a blueprint that says, I'm not worthy of love, or any person that I love will abandon me. So I think you have very similar blueprints to this person, but it's just you deal with it in different way. This person shelter themselves up in the tower and don't let people come close, and you try to give a lot of love to get the attention from the person in the tower. So both of you are playing out your drama with this relationship and with other relationships, and the fear that you have is the thing that you're going to create, because the energy that we send out that has the strongest signal, in this case fear, will be what you create. So if you can send out a signal of love, you will receive love. If you can send out a signal of I love my life, you will get reasons to love your life. But the strongest signal will win. And in this case, the strongest signal was that this person was scared of being abandoned, so they put themselves in a safe position and they got abandoned. So see if there's something else they want to say. How can I ever pay you back? Yeah, I felt that with the Lover's card, that they feel that they haven't felt like this before with someone else. So you have woken something in them. They felt a little bit dead before, because they have protected themselves so much that their little Rapunzel in the tower probably was on the brink of starving to death. And now something has awakened in them. And they are grateful for this, even if it's painful, because this Rapunzel energy, it wants love, it wants happiness, it wants to live a full life. And it has been locked into the tower because this person didn't dare to have hope, didn't want to have hope, because hope hurts. Hope brings heartbreak in this person's world. It's their blueprint. But this person feels very grateful to you because you kind of, even if you didn't were successful in saving Rapunzel and taking her out of the tower, by knocking at the door, you at least awoken Rapunzel. Okay, you awoken this person's longing to live a full life. So I think you have kind of help them start with their healing. We also have this card sticking out. You are the only one who gets me. So yeah, I think when you were knocking at their door, you said a lot of things that kind of vibrated with the right kind of frequency through their body and made them feel actually more safe. But then you stopped knocking, and because they got a little bit spoiled with this, that you said the great things and did the great things, made them feel safe, but they didn't they didn't know the time when they needed to start make you feel safe. So they missed that opportunity, and they did so out of lack of experience, because they didn't know that if I don't give this back to you, you will leave. So they were just full of probably a nice feeling when you were pampering them, and they just felt pampered. So they felt like the little baby that was taken care of, but they acted spoiled, and now you're leaving them. Okay, so from your point of view then, I need more time to heal and find myself, because you feel you have lost yourself a little bit with this person knocking at their door. You probably felt like you had a really good confidence, you had a positive attitude, you expected good things to happen to you, so you were a little bit surprised with things not going so well with this person, because I feel you felt like you have worked on yourself and that you were ready for something more real, and then the same karma kind of repeated itself. So you feel like you need more time for yourself to heal this old karma, and find your blueprints and change them, because we can change our blueprints. For example, we can use this Sedona method. Do I want to let this blueprint go? Can I let this blueprint go now or now? So you can use it to let things go. For example, if you have a blueprint that let's say money doesn't grow on trees, you can put a new you can say, I will let this go, this old blueprint, and I want to let it go, and I let it go now. So yes, let it go. And you can say it a lot of times, I let this blueprint go, or I let this money doesn't grow on trees, I let it go, and I let it go now. But then you can also replace it with a new blueprint, and it can be money is easy accessible. It's easy for me to get money. And that blueprint is something you want to keep as the one, don't put your hand on the stove, don't go over the street without watching both directions a couple of times. So some blueprints are good, some is not so good. And you say, I have mother issues and I don't think you ever loved me. So I think in some way your parents and the world in general have failed to make you feel loved. It might have been that your mother had her own issues. It can be mother issues. It means that the mother is the loving energy, the unconditional loving energy. And it's you haven't felt this unconditional loving energy, and it might be from your father, your mother, people in your surrounding general. It's not just the mother, it's just that it means the loving energy, the unconditional loving energy, the one that listens and are in tune with the baby's feelings and needs and tend to them. And the mother becomes like a psychic and are so connected with the baby that they can understand what they need and start to read their signals and different kind of cries. And for some reason you haven't really felt this. It might have been that your actual mother might have gotten like depression after giving birth, or might have been childish and couldn't tend to anyone else than themselves, or they might have had marriage problems or other kind of problems, or even personality issues. Some people have, for example, narcissistic mothers that can't feel empathy with the child. So in some way you have kind of learned that love isn't for you, that no one will love you unconditionally, that is also always conditioned, that you need to give them something, you need to knock on their door, being their therapist, getting them out of the tower, and then maybe you will get love. So you might have had parents that used drugs, or as I said before, they were depressed, and when you were able to get them happy, that's when they bloomed up and could give you love. So you might have tried the same thing here. So you need to change this blueprint too, to be that I am unconditionally loved, from I need to do this and this and that and that and that to make people love me. I am loved for who I am. I am unconditionally loved. So we can do this with affirmations, to say an affirmation. We can use the Sedona method to let the old blueprint go and use affirmation to install the new blueprint. But we can also use affirmation, and that means if you don't believe in the affirmation, you can say it in the question form. Why am I unconditionally loved? And you can see proof in your life that you are unconditionally loved. You can find the lucky streak that you had at your career, or so how universe is taking care of you, and you can see how your friend is always there for you, this special friend, or that child, or that parent, or that relative. So you can always find ways to prove to yourself that you are unconditionally loved, and that will help you to install a better blueprint. Because I'm feeling you're going to repeat the same thing here as long as you don't change the blueprint. Yeah, you have a traumatized inner child, and it's the same for this person with Rapunzel in the tower. But you're taking much better care of that child now. So you are installing the love that you never got from the people that should have given you love. You give it to yourself now. So you are going to be the source of unconditional love to you. So that's very important. This is what you need to take out of this reading. Give yourself unconditional love. Be on your side. Tend to your needs as if you were your own baby. So that will help you to heal this situation, so you not endlessly need to repeat this vicious cycle of not being loved or being rejected. So what do the divine wants to say about this relationship? It's a past life relationship. You have known each other before, so your karma is a little bit more hands-on. You have probably relived this pattern before, either exact the same pattern, a similar pattern. The pattern might have been the other way around. You might have ignored this person. So we are here to experience things from every different direction. See how they are studying. So from this direction, from that direction. So the same issue, but we are experiencing it from every angle. So in the end, we will be expert in all different fields. You have been the one abandoning. You have been the one getting abandoned. You have been the one being the king and being the beggar. You have been rich, you have been poor, and everything in between. And you have been the one hating other people and the one being hated by other people, and so on and so forth. So it's people that doesn't have empathy usually are people that haven't lived so many of these lives just yet. So they are a little bit unexperienced with how it feels. So they can't imagine themselves walking in another person's shoes. By a person that have lived many lives, have usually become very empathic, like an old wise soul, and they can live into another person's situation without having to, live through it, without having to actually feel it. They can feel it just by tapping into their experience of their past lives. So it's very likely that you are a very old soul, and this person might be an old soul too, but they have locked themselves in a tower at some point, so they have a lost soul part, and that makes the development halt when maybe your most crucial experience of having empathy or being in situations that creates empathy, because being a true traumatic situation makes you have empathy. And if that traumatic part of the person, the soul part that were exposed to trauma is locked in, this person can't have the advantage of knowing how it feels for another person, because they have locked in their empathy in the tower. But I feel it comes out here, and they are grateful for that, but it's also something new. But they are healing, so that's kind of beautiful. So I want to take one separate just for you, and I feel that it's this. Okay, love yourself first. I expected actually new love to come here. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So you start with that, and then I think this new love will come in whatever shape and form, but a new thing, not the old, same old, where you always feel like you are never really loved. I will take some cards to see what this person's soul would want to say to you. That one, And this one. Sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. This is very common with people that have lost soul parts. They can't access a romantic relationship on a deep level. They can only like, oh, you're attractive and I want to have sex with you. They can't connect with you like soul to soul because their little Rapunzel is in the tower. So the person that can feel deeply is so traumatized that it's locked in the tower. So if you feel like they were only out to have a sexual union, that's why, because they had this trauma and this lost soul part. But it's coming back here, so that's good for them. And then we have this card, Secret Admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. So this person is trying to act cool. They are not cool at all. Okay, they are acting like, I don't care, go wherever you want, see if I care. They do care, okay, a lot. It's a very painful experience for them, but this is good for them. Their Rapunzel will reawaken, and they can retrieve back their lost soul part by starting to feel the pain. So feeling the pain of you leaving, this Three of Swords, also makes them feel the pain of their Rapunzel. So they can take that energy back. They don't have to let it lay in kind of in a chest in the highest tower somewhere and be ignored. Now they can send their own inner ambulance to that part of them. So while they are healing from the heartbreak with you, they also heal their old ancient trauma. So sometimes people don't know this, so they think that the hurt and the pain and the heartbreak is out of proportion, but it's because it's layer upon layers. You feel the heartbreak from many different lives in the same time, because it gives you the chance to heal also past experience that is the root of the karma here. When we don't have any pain anymore, we are done with the karmic cycle there. We have played car accident, over and over and over again until it doesn't trigger us anymore. And then we heal and we are able to move on. We are an expert in the field, so we don't have to relive the same abandonment again and again and again, because we are done. It doesn't even hurt us if we are abandoned. It's just like, okay, so the person wanted to do something else with their life. I will let them go because I love them. And you will mean it because you are healed. Nothing can touch a person that's healed. So if abandonment happen, you won't feel it as abandonment. You will feel it as the other person is using their free will to do what they want, and you want them to be able to do that. So because you're a grown-up, mature person when you have healed. Okay. So, my dear Aries, I hope this helped. I would urge you to watch your reading, the True Thoughts and Feelings, in their True Thoughts and Feelings playlist. That will probably tell you more about this story. You can also watch What Do They Want to Happen Between You Two for your sign, or the love reading for May.
Jet planes in the night sky with you.
Today, if you can't get enough of my readings on YouTube, you can now become a member to my channel and get access to premium content videos. There are 3 different levels to choose from. You can become a supportive member and get personal and spiritual growth readings for the collective.
Getting high in the sunrise with you.
The second option is to become an extended member, where you get access to the collective readings from the previous level, and you will also be able to see all the channel's astrological tarot readings for all the signs ahead of time and ads free.
Getting through all the bad times with you. I wasn't missing a thing, no I do. And I wish that I could put eternity.
The third option is to become a full member, where you get access to all the perks from the previous levels. And on top of that, you will get short personal readings from me every week. It is very similar to super chat readings, but here you subscribe instead of paying for super chats.
'Cause time moves on, and now you're gone. Oh, if only I could build a time machine, I'd come and get you.
There is a lot of other perks that's available for all levels, as membership loyalty badges, custom emojis, and other special features.
I'd come and get you. I can't forget you. I miss you, I miss you, I miss you all the time. I wish that.
If you subscribe to my channel, you will be able to see the join button where you can learn more about the membership. You can also follow the link in the description box to check this out. And if you're still not convinced that this is a good option for you, you can become a member just to support my channel and help me keep on doing readings for all the astrological signs. I hope you will join and we will have so much fun together. Thank you for watching this far. I'm sending you all my love and all my gratitude.